Okay, we're talking about leash pulling, and I wanted to go into more detail about what I'm actually doing with Molly that we talked a little bit about last time. So I'm just going to go step by step, and a majority of this information is from Dr. Karen Becker. She's on the Mercola.com website, and I'll give you all the links and information to what I was reading on the blog at pupperscornerpodcast.com. So we're here with Samantha.
Hey.
So, anyways, so I kind of, with Molly this last week, we kind of, we take 2 steps forward and 1 steps back. It's like, I walk him almost every night, but there was one time this week we were really busy and didn't walk her. So the next night, she was like off the charts. I mean, she was pulling like a beast. I mean, you could literally probably put some kind of trailer behind her and she could haul it. So I already decided that if there's any pulling at all, I stop. So I stop, and she's like leaning into the leash, wanting to go so bad because she had this pent up energy because I was a bad dog parent and didn't get her walked. So I felt bad, but I knew I needed to stick with it and be consistent. So we did the program, but we only went probably a half a block that day.
Wow.
But then on days when normal energy is expended, she will go probably, before she reverts back to old habits, probably, I'm going to guess, 5 or 6 blocks. She'll stick with the program, and then she's like, "You're going too slow. I want to go."
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, we're improving. A lot of bad habits, but I want to go through the step by step of what I'm working on, and it is working. It's slowly but surely working on a very, very stubborn dog. Probably if it's an average dog, the article I read, 5 to 10 sessions, they should start getting the idea. But here's the steps. So you start with in the backyard. You put the leash on them. You let them drag the leash. You do that for a couple of days, and then the third day you go out and you start by letting them drag the leash. Then you pick it up, and you're beside them, and then when they put the tension on the leash, you call them back to you. Okay. So when they come, you have a
treat or something.
Treat, yeah, you have your pocket full of treats or the little treat box, whatever. So they associate keeping the tension off of the leash with the reward, and so then you start walking them out in the neighborhood or wherever you're at. And as soon as they put tension on the leash, you stop and call them back to you. And the first couple of times they do that, give them what's called a jackpot treat. Do you know what a jackpot treat is? So, like when they do something you want them to do, you give them 1 treat. But when you do something you really, really want them to do, you give them like 3 or 4 treats.
Oh,
and it's like a jackpot. So, and then they'll continue to associate, especially my dogs are like super food.
Yeah, super
motivated.
Food driven,
Yeah. But I'm noticing Molly sometimes, because when we start a walk, she is so intent on going where she wants to go that sometimes even treats, she'll wait. She'll like, I'll deal with food later. She's wanting to, I don't know if she's looking for squirrels, other dogs, something to chase when we get out on a walk, but she just turns into this like fiend when we put a leash on.
That's so weird.
And she's like the perfect dog all the other times. I mean, like she can snuggle bunny. Mm-hmm. She'll snuggle up to you and love on you and play, all those things, and behave and mind at home. But when the leash is put on, it's like Jekyll and Hyde, so to speak.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so we're making progress. And then after your training session, when you do this, about 15-minute deal, you don't want to go too long because they'll get frustrated. You'll get frustrated. And you never want to pull, even if, like I said, you only get like 20 feet away from the house. You never want to get upset and pull on their leash or yank on their leash or tug on their leash with this particular method I'm doing.
Does it make it like a negative experience?
Dogs respond, my understanding is, very well to positive reinforcement. And so if you're yelling or pulling or yanking or they just think you're a crazy person.
Yeah. And you don't want to scare
And you kind of are,
them.
you know?
Like, yelling and pulling on your dog's leash.
You wouldn't do that to another human, so...
No,
why would you
hopefully
do that?
not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yank on them. Although I want to sometimes.
Sometimes.
The article that I read from Dr. Becker says within 5 sessions, most dogs will get it. We're past that with Molly, and we have some old habits to break, so I'm being... And the trick is staying consistent, obviously. But I'm encouraged because I am seeing results. Like when she's not super focused on, like, I mean, like if we see a squirrel, all bets are off, or, you know, things like that. But just an average walk, we're getting further and further each time. So I'm encouraged. Still get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, don't you understand yet? But she's got some bad habits that we're breaking, so.
It just takes some time. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but
I'm
I think
hoping
you can.
we can.
I think you can. I have faith.
So I want to, in all these articles I've been reading, they talk about leashes. Every single trainer / veterinarian that I've read articles about hates the telescoping leashes. Do you use those?
What is that?
Those are the ones that go like 15 feet. They retract and back and forth.
Yeah, I've used that. We have one because, you know, Daisy's better off of a leash. So it's like she's off of a leash, but she's on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some very harrowing experiences with those. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so the first one was Jackson. So I'll paint a picture of what Jackson's like. He's 85-pound lab, full of energy, very strong.
He looks like a bear.
Yes. So I'm walking him one time and we see a rabbit. And I have the telescoping leash. And so he takes off running. And so I brace myself. I'm holding the leash. He's going to hit the end of that and just jerk backwards, right? It snapped that leash and he just kept running with the 15 foot of cord behind him, you know, and he's chasing the rabbit all over the neighborhood. And he wasn't even full grown yet. He was probably right at a year old when this happened. So that happened. And then another time, Molly, the one that's crazy on the leash, I don't know what I was thinking, but I had her on one just because I was just tired of her pulling. So I'd let her have some room, but she would go to the end of that and then pull.
Yeah.
Well, one time she'd zigzagging back and forth and she got it wrapped around my leg. And then she took off again, and it like made a burn on my leg. It's like a line on my leg of a burn, like a rope burn.
Ow!
So since then, I've threw all those in the trash, and now I do use sometimes, like when we're in a place where I want them to be off leash, but there's other people or dogs around. I got like if you're in an open field or something, like a 30-foot, what's called a long leash. So it's like a regular leash, basically, with a handle on the end, but it's 30 foot long. So you can get control of them if you need to, but they're pretty much free. So, but definitely for walks, just a standard 6-foot leash.
I know
best.
We started using the retractable leashes when we lived in the apartment, and Daisy was a puppy.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't want to go potty with us right next to her, but the leash
she
was
wanted
small.
some room, right?
Yeah, like she wouldn't go potty, and so we got the retractable leash, and she'd like go like around the corner a little bit, and she could potty.
Okay.
She did not want us staring her down.
But she don't pull like crazy, does she?
She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. And when she's on a retractable leash, it's like she thinks she's not on a leash or something.
Right.
Yeah, and so she just like, she acts better off of a leash than on, so that's why it kind of works.
Well, it's the same with Molly. Because, whenever I go walk, she was ready to go. So I open the garage door. I make her sit. While I close the garage door, I get like 3 numbers in to put my coat in. She takes off. And she's yanking me. And she gets to the end of the leash, and then I have her in a halter because when she just has a collar around her neck, she's choking herself.
Oh.
So I have her, anyway, she wiggles out of the halter completely. And then she'll just stand there.
Like, I'm free now, it's fine.
Yeah.
You want to go for a walk?
She stops.
Just us?
Yeah. So, if I probably need to move out in the country.
And just let her be a free dog.
Yeah, because, I would totally let her just walk beside me. But
you
we
can't
have
in the city.
neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
And they act like your dog's going to bite their kid. And
Well,
all
I mean,
that.
you should control your dog. And believe it or not, some people are scared of dogs.
Oh, I do believe that.
Yeah.
My niece was scared of dogs for the longest time. I don't know what happened, but...
Oh, we had an episode the other night walking her dog. We had a German Shepherd charge us.
What?
Me and Jackson, yeah. He's like full barrel coming at us, and I'm like, I step in between them, and he just got loose from his owner and was charging Jackson, and Jackson's like, doesn't know what to think.
Was he like, oh, a dog's coming after me?
He's like, should I be happy because I have a new friend, or should I be scared because this dog's running really fast? So
he looks angry.
Yeah, he did look. German Shepherds can be scary looking.
Sometimes, yeah.
It was fine. The owner came running up there and got them separated, but it was fun. So,
Did you talk about leash training with that person? Did you guys share stories?
No,
Would have been a great opportunity.
He's apologizing profusely, and I said, hey, it'll probably happen to me tomorrow or something.
Probably.
So, we got to give each other grace sometimes.
Yes, we do.
But so to recap, just if you have a dog that pulls, just start slow, 5 to 10 minute sessions. Don't over stimulate or wear them out or get them bored with the training. And whenever there's tension put on the leash, you stop. And what's really effective for me is when they have tension on it, basically just turn around and start walking the other direction. So now they're back behind you again.
Oh, and they want to be in front.
And then when they start following you and take the slack off you, praise them so they get used to associating praise with keeping the slack on the leash. So,
that's awesome.
So it is working slowly, but I think in the long run it'll be really cool. So
awesome.
I'm done for today. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so next week we're going to talk about hiking with dogs, what to bring, and all our experiences we've had with that. So we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.